My name is Omar Habli. By examining primary sources such as Giorgio Vasari's Life of Leonardo da Vinci, Salon Life, John Wesley's Thoughts Upon Slavery, Lord Byron's poem The Isles of Greece, and Prince Yukhtomsky's Russia's Imperial Destiny, alongside insights from the textbook A History of Modern Europe from the Renaissance to the present, I will highlight what distinguished the thinking of Enlightenment thinkers from those before them and how their ideas reflected and changed earlier ways of thinking. Enlightenment thinkers added to ideas formed during the Renaissance, which emphasized observation and creativity. Giorgio Vasari's Life of Leonardo da Vinci describes how Leonardo would study to push boundaries and accomplish a lot within art and science. This reflects the Renaissance's focus on critical thinking. However, the Enlightenment went further by really promoting science as tools for everyone to improve society. The textbook helps explain that Enlightenment thinkers would use these methods to question tradition and focus on progress, something that wasn't done as much during the Renaissance. The Enlightenment promoted sharing ideas, as Salon Life explains that Salon started to be brought together for people from different backgrounds to discuss science, philosophy, and politics. This encouraged collaboration and challenged the idea that only a few elites could add to these high-level subjects. Basically, this gave an increased power to the general population. As described in the textbook, this was different from the Renaissance, a time where intellectual progress was often more individual and only for the elite to pursue. Salons helped spread Enlightenment ideas and made it more accessible to the general population. The Enlightenment also focused on improving society. John Wesley's Thoughts Upon Slavery is an example of using reason and morality to challenge old systems. Wesley argued that slavery was wrong because all people are equal. This went against many old system practices. This connects with the ideas written in the textbook, which explains how Enlightenment thinkers used ideas like equality and human rights to push for reforms in areas like law and government, breaking away from traditions upheld during the Renaissance and much of history even before then. Lord Byron's The Isles of Greece reflects Enlightenment ideas about freedom and self-determination. He saw ancient Greece as a symbol of democracy and criticized modern powers for failing to live up to those ideals. This focus on liberty and national pride shows how much Enlightenment thinking inspired movements for independence, something that became much more common in this time period. As explained in the textbook, Enlightenment ideas about government and individual rights caused revolutions and political changes. These ideas differed from the Renaissance, which focused more on supporting rulers and their courts. While Enlightenment thinkers promoted progress and equality, these ideas were not applied equally. Prince Yukhtomsky's Russia's Imperial Destiny shows how Enlightenment ideals could be adapted to justify imperialism. Yukhtomsky's focus on Russia's unique role highlights how the Enlightenment's ideas about progress were sometimes used to dominate others. This is supported by the textbook, which discusses how European powers use Enlightenment rhetoric to justify colonialism. This contrasted with the Renaissance's curiosity about the wider world, as Enlightenment thinkers often framed non-European societies as inferior. To conclude, Enlightenment thinkers built on Renaissance ideas but expanded them to focus on reason, equality, and progress. They questioned tradition and worked to improve society, though their ideas were not always applied fairly. These changes had a lasting impact, shaping the modern world in many ways that are still felt today. Thank you for your attention.